man was trying to use an electronic gift card, but my coworker couldn't figure out how to make it work, so she called me to ask for help. I have no problem with this. I let the newbies know they can call me anytime. I explained to her she needs to open the payment window before scanning the barcode on the gift card. However, she tells me there is no barcode. I'm confused because there's always a barcode, so I ask her to send me a picture of the customer's phone screen. I receive the picture and there is an image of our gift card, its balance of $10, and then step-by-step instructions explaining that in order to use the card, the customer must either print it out or download the PDF file. I just facepalmed looking at the picture, but I knew I was on speaker on her end, so I had to kindly tell them to press the download button. What I really wanted to say was, "Follow the steps, you idiots." A few weeks ago, I dealt with a Karen at the grocery store I work at. I was at the self-checkout station as per usual, and this lady walks up with an ungodly amount of thing. She had about, I would say, 20-something bottles of this generic, store-brand soda. She starts scanning her items, and when she gets to her soda, she asked me if I could do quantity mode for them so she wouldn't have to scan them all. I told her we weren't allowed to do that because, well, we weren't. She asked me since when, and then said she had someone do that for her that last time she was there. I tried explaining to her that person shouldn't have done that as it wasn't allowed, and that as far as I knew, we've never been allowed to do that. She then asks me how long I've worked there, and I tell her how long. She says not to claim to know something if you haven't been working there for too long. I walked away from her to help another customer. During one point in her transaction she tried to ring up a shirt, but its tag was missing, so she asked if I could enter the UPC code manually. She handed me the shirt, and before I could even answer her question, she said in a really snobby and sarcastic tone, "Are you allowed to do that?" I immediately handed her the shirt back and got a manager to deal with her because of how rude she was being. Like literally everywhere else, at least where I'm from, we charge 10p for bags. It is completely out of my control. So lady comes up to the till. I greet her and ask if she wants a bag. She doesn't answer and picks up a bag, so I'm like, okay, so one bag then. She then asks if I charged her for the bag. I say yes, they're 10p. She says I'm not paying 10p for a bag. Take it off. I take the bag off. She then doesn't remove her stuff from the bag. She gets her cash out to pay with the stuff still in the bag she made me take off. I tell her that if she doesn't want a bag she'll have to leave the bag as it hasn't been paid for. She then gets really mad and goes, "Are you really going to be such a job's worth over a 10p bag? I'm in here all the time and I never get charged for them." Lie, everyone gets charged. If we get caught not charging for bags we can get in trouble with management. She demands a manager as apparently I was rude to her. The manager literally says the same thing I did, that she has to pay for a bag if she wants one, or alternatively she could bring one with her. This set her off, and she starts screaming at my manager about how she has one last chance to apologize and give her the bag, or she'll complain to trading standards, get us all fired, get the shop closed down, etc. She didn't get the bag and no one heard from her again. She did, however, refuse to pay for the rest of her shopping and left it for us to put back. Yes, I know it's ridiculous over a bag, but I'm not allowed to just give a bag for free. Medium, meaty story for you today. Took place probably 10 years ago. Some details are at best barely remembered. I was working the photo counter at my place of employ, a pharmacy with corner store attached. Emphasis on corner. A customer comes up and requests that I take their photo for passport pictures. So, I basically let the photo lab come to a screeching halt, so I can top priority these photos. We fuss and fumble getting the customer to stand still, not show their teeth, and maybe get their chin anything close to level. Then comes the next painful part. The question. "And how many sets of 2 would you like?" They give me the blank stare of a person that was just asked a very hard math question. I smile and try to get them through the mental blockage. They're sold in attached pairs. Like pants, I point to my glasses. Or glasses and I flip my wrist to now point to my pants. This got them to break their stupor. Oh yeah. I need to. Now, having fallen victim to this trap before I double check. 2 pairs of 2, yes. He confirms. I increase the number of sets. A few moments later I cut out the 4 small pictures and mount them on the display card. I wave to the waiting customer, and we head to the register. I ring him up and then as per procedure I say the total out loud. He stops dead in his tracks. "Oh. Wow, that's more expensive than I thought. I'll take just 1 set," he says apologetically. "Not a problem." I take 2 of the 4 away and modify the price down on the register. "Okay, now it's half the first price." I set the unwanted pictures behind me, on the lab counter. He then looks at me. "What are you gonna do with those?" he asked. Oh no. I can tell this was going to be trouble. I just didn't know what form the destroyer of my day would take. "I will destroy the prints and recycle the paper," I said truthfully. "We'll, if yet just gonna throw them out, I'll take them." "Okay. This game then." I grab the photos and remove the price modification. "Whoa whoa whoa," he exclaims. "Why is the price back up?" I take a breath. "Because you're taking both sets." "Well, I don't want both. Just 1. "No problem." I remove the second set and modify the price down again. Once more the pics are set aside. "Wait. You're just gonna throw those away?" he asks. Internally I groan. Externally I just nod yes sir. "Because you do not want them." And predictably he says, "Well, if you're just gonna throw them away." And he proceeds to make me go through this song and dance loop 3 more times before he got too angry and just took the 2 pair. And his parting shot? "This is one hell of a racket you got going here. Make too many pictures and just force people to pay for them." Edit, I meant infinite loop. Curse you, autocorrect. This remains probably the most asinine thing a customer has ever complained about. Some old dude, 60s, not ancient or anything, he could walk just fine, comes up to the service desk and starts ranting and raving because of how much of a pain it is for him to walk up to our store because the bus stop is almost a block away from the main entrance. Dumbfounded, I tell him he really needs to contact the city about it, since that's who sets up where the transit services are located. This just makes him angrier. "No, you guys need to contact the city and tell them to put a bus stop there." He was absolutely inconsolable. I literally don't even know what to say to the guy, lol. In retrospect I could have just been like, "Oh darn, I'll get right on that." But these things don't come to you in the moment when you are wondering, is this really happening? And like I said, the guy could walk. He was just some miserable guy who didn't want to walk far, like we had any control over that. I mean, I've seen some remarkably dumb comments in my day, customers thinking we could deactivate the tap option on their cards because they were worried about having them stolen. One old guy who was mad that the store clock didn't match the bus schedule because he didn't have a watch, but this took the cake in terms of WTF does this guy think he's accomplishing here? I work lower management overnight grocery, and boy do we get some odd calls. Usually it's just normal stuff like, "Are you guys open?" "No, it's 3 a.m. and if you googled our number it probably said closed next to it." Or, "Hey, can you check if you've got X item in stock?" "No," mostly because I don't want to, partially because the prompt says we don't do that. But sometimes I have to absolutely crush some clueless old person or hungry stoner's hearts. A guy called up one night and asked me to check if we had canned peaches. I was in a good mood and didn't want to do actual work, so I went and checked. We did, so I told him that. Then he asked me if we had the sugar-free kind, and I had just seen them, so I said yeah, we have peaches and water, no sugar added. Dude came back with, "No, I just found out I'm diabetic, I need the peaches with no sugar at all." I had to break it to him. I said, "Buddy, all peaches have sugar in them, they're a fruit." He just said, "Oh. Thanks," in the most defeated tone ever and hung up.